Holy! Oh my! What the hell is that, dude? Oh my! Oh, dude! What is that?
Dustin's dive hole is now down about 8 feet, and once again a pile of massive boulders is blocking their route to the bedrock gold, and in the last episode they pulled a bunch of chunky nuggets out of the dive hole, and when they got back to camp Dustin and Wes started running the concentrates they'd scraped from the sluice box over the past 2 weeks, and right then Carlos showed up from who knows where. So Dustin and Wes tricked him over and kept telling him that the first sluice cleanout didn't turn up much gold.
Are you serious, man? That doesn't make no sense, dude.
It doesn't, right?
Holy! Oh my! What the hell is that, dude? Oh my! Oh, dude! What is that? Oh my! You see this? You see this? Oh my! Looks like damn kid cereal, dude.
Holy, we're in the money.
After Wes dried the moisture out of the gold, the crew held a big weigh-in ceremony, starting with the fine gold the sluice had intercepted, which came to 6.94 ounces, 215.86 grams, which was more than they'd expected, and with gold priced at about $2,000 an ounce, that fine gold alone was worth almost $14,000. Next up were the big nuggets, and that pile of hand-picked gold totaled 7.3 ounces, 227 grams, so altogether the haul just topped 14 ounces and was worth nearly $30,000. Lots of people had been telling Dustin that McKinley Creek's gold was all picked over, but now they'd finally found a place that hadn't been worked, and before they can keep going they first have to deal with the rock that's blocking the way. So Dustin drove 6 kilometers to visit a legendary name in the gold world, One-Eyed Mark, who's basically an NPC of this show, and Dustin didn't beat around the bush. He told Mark straight up that they'd hit an underwater boulder that was beyond the capacity of all his gear, and Mark didn't hesitate, pulling out a rock blasting rig that can blow up rocks of any size and is easy to carry. And just like that, Dustin scored a brand new tool. Back at the dive site, the team prepared for their first ever underwater blast, and first they had to drill holes in the rock to insert the blasting rods, and the drilling tool is a cordless underwater drill that needs to be pressurized with air before the dive so its internal pressure matches the working depth, because if the internal pressure is too low, water will seep in and fry the motor, and if it's too high, the drill will seize up. Yet Dustin sent James, the least experienced guy on the team, because James has the brute strength they needed to wrestle the gear. James dove in, grabbed the underwater drill, and started boring holes. He needed 3 holes to load a full blasting setup, but halfway through the second hole the drill stopped, so James handed it to Dustin to check, and Dustin found it dead, and without a working drill they couldn't blast, so the mining stalled again, until a little while later the drill in Dustin's hand suddenly kicked back to life and they began checking the drill's internal pressure. Like a car tire that normally runs around 2.3 to 2.5 bar, they'd pumped the drill up to 6.2 bar, about 4 times the pressure at 3 meters depth, overheating the seal from excess friction and tripping the motor's thermal cutoff, so they vented the air. Carlos repressurized the drill to the correct pressure, and James went back down to finish the holes so they could pack in the primer charges. The primer has to fit tightly in the drilled holes, because when they pull the trigger the current hits the power head and detonates the bottom primer, and the tighter and more airtight the rock is, the better the blast works, letting a tiny amount of explosive break a massive boulder from the inside out, whereas loose or cracked rock actually gives a poor result.
That hit a lot harder than I thought it would.
The giant boulder was successfully blown into 3 pieces, and from that point Dustin's team officially started using explosives to break rock. They used a cable rig to pull the smallest chunk out of the dive hole, and the gravel that rock had been pinning down turned out to be loaded with gold.
Holy moly!
Is there nuggets in there?
Look at all that gold, dude!
Oh my! Oh, look at that! Oh, there's ounces, dude. Yeah, I just started it. Holy!
Oh, damn, man.
Oh, damn right is right!
So James went to town vacuuming that area for the 5-hour dive shift, and when they checked the sluice, the haul from clearing only a third of the area under the boulder already included a pile of nuggets plus tons of fine gold, and Dustin was having such a blast that he decided he'd personally dive the next day to see the bottom for himself, since 2 more big rocks still needed drilling and blasting, and they dialed the drill to the right pressure so it worked perfectly for the next round of blasts, and Dustin couldn't wait to see how much gold was sitting under those stones as rubble was hauled away, and he started combing for nuggets, finding one pretty quick and then more after.
Oh my! Are you all right? Is he losing his mind? Are you gonna bring it up or what?
Holy crap! Holy man!
We knew it was gonna be down there underneath that rock, and it's paid off.
Oh my gosh! Look at that, Wes!
There's gonna be so much gold down there,
That's
dude.
the pocket! That's the pocket that you was talking about!
Dustin's crew has been mining McKinley Creek for 4 years, and this new underwater blasting system is getting them down to gold the old-timers a century ago never reached. There are nuggets everywhere, so Dustin stops picking by hand and switches to the suction hose because it's way faster. And while Carlos on shore yells at Dustin not to suck up all the gold and to save some for him, Dustin calls the dive early and comes ashore promising the team there's a lot of gold in the sluice because he...
What'd you call it, the green part?
There's ounces in here. Ounces of gold.
So much gold!
Like big pieces.
Saw nothing but gold in that last hour of the dive, and the new blasting tool changes the game. No rock, no matter how big, can stop them from reaching the gold now. And after all these years on McKinley Creek, this is Dustin's happiest day, the first time he's seen gold continuously coming up, and he says he'll remember today for the rest of his life.
Rest of my life.